So it sounds like to me that this is really like a part of you. Like cheer is a part of you. Like it's who you are. You know, because sometimes people take on sports or, you know, different activities just to do it and not that anything's wrong with it. But this seems like it's a part of who you are.
Yeah. And I love seeing her, and being her mom and watching her do all this has been very different for me because, you know, I was like a sports girly. Like I played volleyball, soccer, softball. I did all the like boys sports, the Nellinator, and she's Annihilator, by the way.
Yeah.
So isn't that funny? That's her nickname. But that was me. I didn't know what cheer was. I was never into cheer. And so seeing her be passionate about something that I can't even relate to is amazing. I've learned so much, and I'm still not a pro, but I definitely don't feel like a cheer mom because I'm not all into it and I still don't know a lot of things. But seeing my daughter in general, like I said, it does for her mental health, how it got her through so much and how passionate and disciplined. And it's just teaching her so much outside of the math.
Right. And it's good though, too, that you supported her through it all. I mean, I made that highlight for a reason because sometimes, you know, the kids aren't supported enough to, you know, I mean, it could be for many different reasons, but she had that support from you and she was able to just do what she did because you actually, you held her up. So that's great also that you have supportive parents who hold you up, you know, parents, y'all.
Yeah.
Who hold you up, you know? How does that feel? Because, you know, sometimes, you know, you may have friends that may not have that, you know. How did that feel to have your mom's prayer? I mean, I know it probably, you know, sometimes it's like, but how did that feel for you?
It feels good. I think everyone has to have a supportive parent. Like, I don't know any of my friends who don't have supportive parents, but yeah, it's good. I love her. She does everything.
But see, and I want to go just because I have a different outlook. And I, you know, coached all-star long time. I love the high school. You know, I came from education. But what I've seen is that, you know, like what you said, everybody has supportive parents. And we know in public education, that's not the case. And we know that coaches actually take on a role. And you said something earlier, which I loved because you said these coaches have taught me so much. And anytime, like if people talk about my story, I say athletics also saved my life, you know, because it was like all this other stuff that didn't make sense or, you know, was out of control. This made sense to me for some reason. Like it was fun and I feel like I was in control of something, but it was my coaches, like one in particular, my high school coach who literally like, she was kind of the one that like, I didn't want to disappoint, you know? And so that was it. And so I always knew like, I'm going to pay it forward because it is something like you either are like when people go, oh yeah, you know, I go to the gym or I do this or I'm like, yeah, but an athlete, you're just different, you know, because you, like I said, you win together, you lose together, you throw up together, you train together, you're sick together. Shoes are flying, everything. But it is like, nobody can take that from you, you know, good, bad, or indifferent. But, you know, that is, like I said, having those parents are so wonderful and so amazing. But I have seen so many of my colleagues, you know, and like football or anything else to where we know that sometimes, you know, a parent or parents or guardians or whatever are not there, walk kids across the field on senior night, come in here and there for signing. You know, we've all done all of that stuff. And so, you know, you are very blessed because you have a wonderful family, you know, and cheer. And then we know you have a wonderful family here, you know, which is double blessed. And I know I'm pretty sure you're coaching now.
Yeah.
So, okay. Gotta know. Different pressure.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I've been coaching for a while, but now like I have multiple teams and then I'm going to have my own team this year.
Okay, congratulations.
Yeah.
Very good.
Because one of the coaches I coach with, she's moving. So I have to take over one of the teams. And that's like, I'm excited, but it's like, I've never done that.
She's getting paid now. So
There it is.
Before she was a junior coach, like just helping.
Volunteering, because I was volunteering.
Yeah. So now she's an actual coach. And so it is. She has, clock in and out and things like that. So I'm very proud of her because it's teaching her, like you said, a different stressor.
Right.
But I just have to say, like, an add-on before I forget about the coaches. So as you said before, like, yes, I'm there for her up front and center, but let me tell you, her and I get at it sometimes.
That's why I went,
oh yeah. Her and I
Too
wanted
close
to
for
throw
comfort.
punch her a time or two, and she wants to do the same to
I was
me.
gonna say, we know.
So we know, but at the end of the day, we get through it. And the same thing with the coaches, like she struggled with all of her coaches, and I know the coaches understand, and I, being a parent, having that balance is I don't want to like overstep them being coaches because I know but I also respect them. And sometimes I'm frustrated as a parent, but at the end of the day, just like I did with teachers, it's like, I got to let you have your space. I got to let you do your thing. And I may not agree with the way they do things, but I know that they love her and I know what respect she has gained from them and what they've taught her and things that I can't even do. So they are another parent for her. They are there for her. And she knows that, the tears that she shed, she can go to some of these coaches and they will hold her and be there for her, like as if it were me. So I just have to say to all coaches out there, like, although parents can get frustrated and stuff, I know I can speak for myself and probably most parents that have kids in sports is that we do hold the utmost respect for what they do. I've never been a coach, so I can't relate, but I just know what they have done to my daughter and seeing her.
Well, and a lot of times coaches, and I say this to a lot of even my families that I work with, because a lot of the parents will say like, Coach, I hear your name more in my house, or, Dr. Robin here. I go, but we have a different relationship, and it was funny. I was listening to one of the things about families and I said how we get conditioned. Like you guys, y'all know each other. You're not worried about loving each other or anything else. You can kind of go to, but it's almost like we have such a different responsibility to them and we see them objectively, but we still love, like pour into them, but it's because we love it so much too. And so I know in coaching and learning, I mean, I'm always learning but coaching, I think, was more nerve wracking for me than just being an athlete because I don't know. I think it's like, that's why I can't wait because you haven't taken one to competition yet. So I have to have this next year, but only because I can't wait to see the first time when you're just like, oh my gosh, like, is this really happening?
Right. And that's because she knows, or as a coach, I'm sure, you know what you want to see. Right. And you can relate. And yet, I think those are the coaches that are like, if you don't, like if somebody's just on the outside looking in, they may say, oh, this coach is so mean, this coach, blah, blah, blah. But the coach just knows the potential that's in, the team. And so that's why it may seem like the coach is mean or the coach is always picking on you or, different things like that. But she, as a coach, she'll know what she wants to see in her team. So
I think she's also going to see that. Well, one, it's funny because I know when we had our junior coaches that were coming in, they actually ended up becoming better athletes because they were like, we get it now. You get that both because, sometimes you're like, why are you? And then they come up, we're sorry. We get it now because it is when you are, there's a lot of frustration, but that's that learning and that's that good,
It's still fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's what I tell them everybody at the end of the day. I'm like, this is a game. Like we are having a good time. Like this, would you rather be anywhere else? Well, this is hard. And I said, if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah, she's dedicated. She's there 5-6 days a week,
I know
and
she
always
is.
in the gym. So, and it's good for your health.
Even on breaks.
Yeah, even on breaks,
Close
she's
to
in there.
sleep, I'm definitely going.
Yeah.
So what would you, if you would change anything, what would you change? Looking back now, if you could have changed anything, what would that have been?
My whole cheerleader.
Just in general.
The first thing that comes to my mind is taking care of my body better with injuries. Because I don't listen to my body. But because I don't like to take time off. Like the doctor's like, you need to stay out. I'm like, no. But I can't really think of anything else. Maybe when I was younger, watching my attitude with my coaches.
Okay. It's a good one.
Because I know I had attitude.
No, because I'm glad you said that. Why do you think you had attitude? Because I heard this earlier and I wanted to come back to it.
Because I was a bratty teenager back then. Or I was frustrated.
But this was that. Are you more confident now than you were then?
Yeah.
So
I know a lot more about
insecurities?
Respect. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Usually it's like, because I know when you talked about the mental health and coming in, and that's where I think sometimes people they're like, oh, this kid isn't coachable or this one. And I'm like, what's going on? Yeah. And I think that's what I'm saying. What's going on? And a lot of times it's like, when you get to know your athlete, as we do, what's going on.
Right.
Or
And they may be
sometimes,
struggling inwardly.
Right. And so you kind of
with
give
an
a little
insecurity.
pass or you come over here,
Absolutely.
but there's still that, hey, listen, because it's almost is to like let you know, like, we've got you, but you got to believe it.